Hi, I'm Deidre. If you're watching this video, then you might be wondering, where is the rest of Burning Brightly and Yearning Young? Where is the sequel? Why haven't you made it? Well, you might not be able to tell because I don't really, post pictures of where I live on my social media, but I have moved into a friend's basement. I am making everything kind of my own. All of that happened because earlier this year, I realized that I am gay. I'm not bi, I'm not pan, I'm not even straight, just gay. Which fortunately, it was a, amicable split between me and my husband, ex-husband now, and he's got a great new girlfriend, and the kids are adjusting pretty well, and, it's going good. So while I talk about this and the Yearning Young stuff and what's been going on and how it led to this, I am going to be working on what I am hoping to be the backdrop of the next time I do a video like this. I intend on doing different kinds of projects while I have all kinds of fun videos. So we'll see how that goes. So one thing that I stumbled across during all of my massive depression anxieties of last year, or earlier this year, I guess, it's not quite 2021 yet, much as I would wish it to be, is the term Comphet. Now, I had never ever heard of anything like this before. Comphet was explained to me as it is when society more or less demands that women be attracted to men. Now, obviously, there are plenty of women who know that they're lesbian or bi, and they know it pretty young, and they're comfortable with it. They're comfortable with their attraction to women. They don't feel forced by it. They're happy with who they are. Great. I am happy for them. I wish that had been me, quite honestly. But what really got me was that I did not really equate the lack of repulsion from men to being a lesbian. I figured that since I was not disgusted by men, that I must be bi. And I mean, it wasn't really like that clear cut. It wasn't like I was just, oh, men don't disgust me, I'm bi. It was more like, from a young age, I was a bit of a romantic. You all know I'm a big fan of L.J. Smith, especially the Night World series. I got into that and just absolutely fell in love with her world and her characters, and so I was a big romantic, and my favorite couple were Quinn and Rochelle. Huge fan, and I just didn't question it. Like, I was going to end up with a guy more than likely. I didn't even realize my attraction to girls until I was about a teenager. So I didn't exactly stumble across the term myself. It was actually a friend of mine who found it on the Reddit channel Late Bloomer Lesbians, which I will link below in case you are curious, and those who don't know how to Reddit need a link. And they have what they call a master doc, and it has basically like all these things like, do you think you're a lesbian? How do I know? And it's not like a quiz or anything. You can't just like, no, like, no one can answer that for you. It's a self journey. You have to, they just have a way of helping you question and look at things. One of the things that really had me questioning was how I just didn't really seem to get into it with men. And this is kind of in retrospect, because at the time I just thought, all women feel like this. Sometimes men are just, it's not fun, and it just feels like a chore, and it's not meant to be fun, and intimacy is just something that, it's only in Hallmark cards, and everybody's just faking it. And you'd be surprised that, how deeply ingrained that can be, especially when, people are telling you from a young age that this is how it be. So I basically went through this list, and there are a lot of things that rang true for me. I actually took some screenshots and was highlighting them on my phone and stuff. And one thing that really, really got me was it was a memory more than anything on the list itself. Something about going through the list sparked a memory about how when I was in middle school, before I really knew what bi or gay was. Now, some of you might not believe that. How did you not know what bi or gay was in middle school, aka, 6th, 7th grade, as it is where I am from? And the thing is, my parents' idea of educating my sister and I was to throw books at us and or just never talk about it. So, on one hand, we didn't know what gay or bi was. On the other hand, we didn't know it was a bad thing. It wasn't really, not that I recall anyway, preached in church, but quite honestly, church always bored me as a kid, so what would I know? Anyway, so there was this time in middle school where this girl was bullying me. I got bullied a lot. I don't know if that's super obvious from the nervous and strange way I kind of go about things, but I got bullied a lot for my hair, for my skin, for being awkward, being a nerd. Like, this is back before anime and reading was cool. God, I am old. So this girl was bullying me, and she said, "What are you, a lesbian?" And I genuinely said, "What is a lesbian?" She laughed at me and told me to go look it up in the dictionary, and that was something else that the kids would do. Just go look in the dictionary, nerd. So I did, and found the term lesbian and women who are attracted to other women, women who have sex with other women. I remember getting red in the face and slamming the dictionary shut, and that was that. I just said, no, I'm not a lesbian. And it's interesting because I remember how hot my face got and how I just felt this surge of something, but I was also terrified. And when I was going through that Comphet list, it just got me thinking, like, I think that once I found out that was a thing, my instinctive reaction was fear, because it was new, it was strange, I had never heard of it. But some part of me, maybe from the way the girl had teased me about it, knew that this was not something desirable. Straight up, my first celebrity crush, before I even knew what a celebrity crush was Dolly Parton and Smoky Mountain Christmas, and I was at least 3 or 4 when I had this memory of just thinking, oh my god, she's beautiful. It also explains why I like boobs so much. That woman is just gorgeous. She was then, she is now. Thank God for Dolly Parton. So, anyway, when I was going through that master doc list, so many things were just jumping out at me, and it got me thinking too, like, I was reflecting back on stories I'd written, and even for Burning Brightly, I sometimes wonder if Jeff had some kind of compact with him, because it always felt a little more clinical the way he thought about women. And I guess that's because there was a more clinical way I would think about men. Like, I decided, like, I modeled my attraction to men after the character Quinn in L.J. Smith's The Chosen story, and he was short, compact, dark-haired, dark-eyed, pale, dangerous, and that's ultimately what I ended up attracted to. That was actually very much what one of my ex-boyfriends looked like. So, what does all this have to do with Burning Brightly and Yearning Young, and why isn't there a sequel? Well, there's been a lot of stress with all of this. Like, obviously, these realizations led to me and my then husband talking, trying to see if there was something we could make work, and ultimately it was just, I can't do it. I am gay. I've always been gay, and I'm probably always going to be gay. I could not imagine ever being with a man again after having these realizations. And it wasn't just, we talked for about a week and that's how it was. I was in therapy. We had several talks. This was over multiple months. I was doing workbooks about sexuality and gender. I was doing meditation. This was not a sudden thing. This was not abrupt. This was a very slow process. My friend's kid, she screams like my daughter. It's great. So now the question is there going to be the third book that you obviously set up for, Deidre? You set us up for a third book in the series. How dare you? Where is it? We see you're releasing other stories. Don't kill me, and don't judge me. I have started the third book. I started a long time ago. I think it was almost about 1.5 years, 2 years ago now. and I had intended on, tearing right through it, finishing it, maybe even starting a new adult series where they're in college. And I just kind of hit a wall, and then started focusing on other things, hoping it would slowly come back, and then I went back and started working on it again, and that's when all of this hit, and I've just been in a complete slump for writing. Half the reason I even am doing this is because I've been exploring, as part of my therapy, other hobbies that help me relax and make me happy. Because for years, writing was my therapy. Before I had therapists, writing was my therapy. And this has, doing little projects like this has really helped me find out more of who I am and explore more of my creative side that isn't just words. Like, I've been knitting, which I will try to do at some point in a different video. I've been very poorly sewing. I've been cooking more and baking, and yeah, I want to write the third book. I really do. I would love to get it out. I want to get back to it as soon as I can. But I also have all these other stories that are done, have been done, and I've put off putting them out in the world because of all of this trying to find myself and figure out what the hell is wrong with me and all that stuff. Right now, the third book is kind of on hiatus. I'm hoping to remove that at some point soon, or at least at some point. It's been a really rough year. Like, obviously, aside from the sexuality stuff, I got a divorce, I moved out, my kids had to adjust, COVID, getting my job back in April, right in time for COVID, like all of that fun stuff. So as you can probably tell by the lighting, I took a break to eat. Quite honestly, I don't even quite remember where I left off, but as far as the sequel and everything, I would like to get back to it when I can. I need to work on releasing the stories I have coming out right now. Just as importantly, and speaking of Comphet, there is a fantastic writer who I will link her short story below. Her name is Christy Kenwick. I had the pleasure of helping to beta read her short story Hemlock and Exile Origins, which is supposed to be the preview to her upcoming book Hemlock and Exile. And you guys, you gotta give this story a read, because one, I just love her writing. It's so subtle, there's so much to read between the lines, and the Comphet in this, you can just feel how Adrian is just pulled in one direction, almost forced in one direction, and just absolutely craves to be in the other. He needs it, but he can't. And it's marvelous. Oh my god, I love it. I cannot sing this writer's praises enough. She is fucking phenomenal. I adore her. I adore her work. And yeah, so seriously, go check out that short story, and if you like it, then, sign up on Goodreads, whatever, to be notified when Hemlock and Exile comes out, because that, my friends, that is going to be a hell of a ride. If you want gay fantasy, she's got your gay fantasy. This is coming from someone who has read, Song of Achilles, which is technically gay fantasy, but whatever, and, oh god, I cannot even remember the name now. You know what I'm talking about, the book, the series with the guy, the other guy, Tali. It's killing me. What is it? It's like Breaking and Entering, or, oh my god, it's killing me. This is gonna kill me. It's like elves or something, and immortality, and then the first 3 books were good, and then the next ones got really weird, and there was a doll baby thing that they're taking care of. I don't even know. My point is, Christy Kenwick is a fabulous writer, and you should be checking her out. And if you are someone who has experienced the Comphet, then her work is definitely going to ring with you. One of my favorite parts of the Hemlock and Exile Origins short story is without getting, you know, too spoilery, there's a scene where Adrian sees a face he hasn't seen in a while, and he, you know, all these feelings come flooding back, and he feels weak again and tempted again, and it's just absolutely marvelous. Christy Kenwin is really someone who you have to read the story more than once to really understand how much she's slipping between the lines. She's very deft with her words, and she's very precise with what she's doing. And at the same time, there's just this almost smooth, silken poetry to it all. And it's just amazing. There's going to be a point where I finish this and I show it off, and I'm going to be like, yay, look at my cheapy little backdrop. I hope it's as lesbian as it looks, because, dear God, I am gay. On that note, I think one of my favorite 2020 phrases of the year is, listen, I'm dumb and gay, and existing is hard. Because that is just a fucking life mood for me. I'm dumb and gay, and existing is hard. Thank you, sweet nephew, for that. I think my friends are watching Mandalorian upstairs, but I'm not 100% sure. You know those who read Yearning Young, and there's that scene where Jeff and Bryden are, you can tell they're talking about Star Wars even though I didn't outright say it, but Jeff says that he hates the movie. I don't hate the movie, but, you know, I think I missed the nostalgia train as a kid, so it's just never been like a huge thing for me. I've seen the first three. I've seen episode 1. I tried to watch 2 and got bored and kind of had to just, you know, throw that memory out the window. And I watched oh my god, that was 2 different sheets. Did I ask for 2? I thought I only asked for 1. Did I cut it? I think I cut it. Oh my god, I'm a dumbass. Send help. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I don't hate Star Wars like Jeff does, but I'm not gonna lie, I might have taken just a little bit of my occasional frustration out with him, because there are times when people are like, oh, Star Wars is the most amazing science fiction thing ever created, and, you know, I respect it for what it's done, but, you know, I'm a Trekkie. Sorry. I know you can like both. I know a lot of people do. I definitely prefer Star Trek, though. Like, oh my god. Captain Janeway. Captain Janeway. She can do anything she wants to me. I guess this is kind of part of the author talker thing that I did, like, many years back. I attempted to anyway. Like, me with my stupid opinions, like, oh, you shouldn't have to cuss in your young adult books. I try to find better ways to get around it. Like, go fuck off me. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Go back into your little ignorant hole and be ready to come out when it's time, because oh boy, you about to get a big slap in the face about what the industry's really like. You don't even know. Alright? Ta-da! It's like a little snakeskin with lots of lesbian color. It might be a little hard to see in this lighting. Probably doesn't look super lesbian because of the yellow lighting, but oh yes, there's pink and purple and some reddish, and it is just absolutely luxurious. It's gonna be great. Alright, well, as you can see, some time has passed. My wardrobe has changed. Pajamas. And I have finished the project. I hammered in some grommets, and it's going to be hung up there. And hopefully in the next video this will be the backdrop. So I had a lot of fun making this. I had a lot of fun making the video and talking about Comphet and Christy Kenwin's story, which again, please check it out in the link. And yeah, I had a great time. So guys, I hope you liked this video. And if you'd like to see more, please go ahead and comment, subscribe, you know, whatever. Just let me know if this is actually something that has been interesting. And, you know, I definitely am going to be talking about stories and books and stuff I'm releasing, and gonna hype up some other people, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And so I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Bye.